Okay guys, we're back. In this video, let's talk about states. If you've been in the pickup community for a couple of times, right now it's 2020, December. If you've been in the dating community before, you've been influenced by that notion, that concept of state. Getting state. At some point, it was mainly all about getting in state, so that everything just works by itself. Actually, it's not enough. That doesn't work out this way. We need more understanding, such as what we've seen before in the course. Now we can start talk about it. We will talk about what it was that they were referring to, and we will see how it was not complex enough, and we will make it more complex. Instead of saying get in state, I'm going to tell you, yeah, but which state? There is a lot of states. And from there, we're going to discuss like the entire infinity of the infinite type of state that you can have. We will define this. Basically, what did we call a state back in the day? You're in state. What does it mean? This is the state where just everything is easy. You just walk up to people, you feel confident. You can talk forever. People love you. There is nothing complicated, it just comes to you. That's easy. What's that? Basically what we've talked about in the previous part. What we've talked about, this drawing, this sketch that we've done with the interpretation, with the frames of interpretation, and then there is the meaning, and then there is the web of causalities, and then there is the tool that you can use to influence that, and then boom, you get ultimate results from which you get impacted. Either you will suffer or be happy from this. What happens is that depending on the moments, your internal parameters will be different. They will be different. Part of it is your beliefs, your frames of interpretations. Someday you will just go out and feel like, yeah, actually I don't care about what people think of me. I don't care about getting rejected right now. You have some internal parameters that are different. We don't care about what they are exactly. There is some, maybe it's a frame of interpretation that just shifted in that moment, which is different. Maybe it's just because your emotions are different. So in that moment, because the emotions are different, when there is the chains of causalities, it comes upon, okay, what are my emotions? Oh, they are this way. So right now it means that there will be this consequence, and this one is good. So actually, I don't care. I'm protected by my good emotions. It can go wrong. It may be this. It may be as well that you are in a relaxed state of mind. Your mind is relaxed. You can think clearly in that moment. Your imagination is very on point. Maybe you have some momentum and you know it. You feel it. So you're like, hey, no matter what happened, boom, 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 chain of causalities. I'm kind of protected. It will go back in the right way, no matter what. No matter what is the reaction. Either I will be able to flip it the right way, or either I will be able to show that it was a misinterpretation, or maybe I will just not feel bad if they judge me, if something goes wrong. I don't really care. I will feel good anyway. I feel it. I feel that my happiness is relying on my good emotions now, but they feel stable. They are not going to be influenced by people's judgments. So right now I'm invincible in terms of social interaction. I can't suffer from interacting. So I don't care, because ultimately the only thing I care about is happiness and suffering. As we saw, I can't suffer from interaction. I feel protected. I know I am. So nothing can go wrong, actually. Nothing can go wrong. At worst, I just get nothing from it. But I don't lose anything. I don't get suffering. I don't care. And the best is when actually you're not just protected, but you're as well very proactive. Some parameters are aligned in that moment inside you, so that in the chains of causalities and of interpretation, it helps you. to actually make things happen, to have some control over the interpretation. And you actually have a good interpretation. You're actually thinking, well, I think people are nice. Right now, I feel like people are nice. I feel like if I go talk to someone, they're just going to be nice and smile. I feel like now, if I go talk to someone, they're just going to be nice and smile and yeah, just be happy that I talk to them. Why? Just because I think people are nice. Right now, that's what I think right now. Other days, that's not how it seems to be, but right now, I have this anticipation. And so because there is some difference in your internal parameters, may it just be one point in the entire chain that we saw, may it be an interpretation, maybe some frame of interpretation, just one. Remember some of those that we talked about previously. May it be just one, and boom, it unlocks everything to always end up in the right way. So yeah, as they said back in the day, you're in state. But actually there is a multiple type of state. They just put everything into being in state, but yeah, there's multiple type of state, which are all defined. We could define your state by the sum, the collections, the set of all your internal parameters. We could define it this way. Your abilities, the tool that you're able to use or not, the momentum that you already have, your emotions, your clarity of thinking, your imagination, your frames of interpretation, your beliefs. May it be anything that is in your internal parameters. If one change, it means you're in a different state. Your state is defined by the collection, the set of all of those. Right, what we see is that some combinations, some states, some tweaks in your internal parameters, some of them, some combinations seems to appear more often than others. Some of them seem to be more powerful than others in terms of getting you the ability to get results that you want. Some of them, some of those combinations, they seem as well to be more predictable, that you can be proactive toward. There is like a chain of actions that lead to get in that state. You still need to make that chains of event happen to get in the state, to get this parameter to change. For example, you want to build momentum. To get in a state where you have momentum, you have to make the actions maybe in your head or whatever. There is events that need to happen so that there is event, consequence, event. At the end, boom, you have this new parameter that changed. And now, because this is one of the states that I'm talking about, which is powerful, then you are in what they used to call the state. But there is a lot of types of state, some more powerful than others. Let's review them so you can familiarize yourself with them. Okay, I will give you one of my favorite. I have a very deep link with this one. I've been really flirting with this state for so many times. This is what I call the Phoenix state. What the Phoenix state is about. You know what is a phoenix? Its birth comes from its own ashes. It gets burned and from its own ashes, whoosh, Phoenix rises. Phoenix state, it's about getting into so much suffering. For example, you're in a nightclub. You have planned to spend the whole night there to meet people and to practice your skill of socializing and flirting with women. It doesn't go well. You have a terrible night. You're in a deep state of suffering. You feel rejected by everybody. You feel like a piece of shit. Your ego gets crushed down. It's horrible. You're stuck in your negative perception. Everything that you can think about or watch, any event, it just brings negative elements in your mind. And you're just suffering from it. You're suffering. You can't get out of it. Horrible moment, horrible night. And it lasts for hours. and you still have to take action, so you will talk to people somehow, but because you're in that state, you get blown out instantly. People look at you like, what the fuck is that guy? You feel like the biggest creep ever. It happened to me so many times. Horrible. At some point, you've just gone through so much suffering. You just collapsed into your own psyche. At some point, there is an interruption in your mind. In that moment, you get fine with the fact that people are perceiving you as the creepiest guy ever. You get fine with the idea that, well, no one is going to want to talk to you. You feel like a piece of shit. You're okay, actually. You've been there for hours and you're like, you know what? I'm okay with the pressure. I'm just so tired of this suffering. I've been suffering for hours. I just don't care. This emotion I'm feeling, this negative anticipation. Yeah, judge me however you want. Actually, I'm tired of this. I don't care. I don't care anymore. And at that point, because there is this collapse in your psyche, every negative element that comes, it doesn't create other negative element. There was a ripple effect before. There is this, it's bad, so there is this is bad, so there is this one that will come, etc. Now, because you're fine, you're thinking about, for example, approaching someone. You have negative anticipation. You are going to react very bad, like if you're a creep. But this negative anticipation, you don't care anymore about this, so it doesn't produce another one. So there is no chain of negative now. This is cut. So, cut. So nothing after. Another negative anticipation, but the chain is cut. Thanks to your state, remember, it influences the chains of causality. That's cut, the chain of causality of negatives. So actually you can't suffer anymore. This is like the ultimate state of not being able to suffer. The worst thing that can happen, you don't care about them. You can't suffer anymore. And at that point, you just don't give a shit. You just approach people. You're like, yo. And they look at you and you don't give a shit. You're like, yeah, how you doing? And people are just like, well, fine, and you, how you doing? Pretty good, right? And you just don't give a shit. And people get addicted to it. Because now your creative field is so free, so carefree. People get a lot of happiness from talking with you. Draws them into it. Moreover, remember the alpha vibe. How much alpha is it? You don't give a shit about the negative. And once again, it's a kind of misinterpretation because you're still the same guy. Your value, sexually speaking, didn't change actually. Just that people, because it's the first time they talk to you, they just assume that's your baseline. So you're actually at your top right now and they think it's your baseline. So of course they get attracted. Someone who already knows you, they will benefit from the positive, happy creative field, but they will know in terms of sexual value that, yeah, that's just a state. That's just a state. It's not going to stay. They know it. So they don't really get tangled into these illusions. But people that you approach, they will get tangled into it. So use it to your advantage. Another one that is really amazing. This is the Spartan state. You know Spartan, have you seen the movie 300? Spartan, like the warriors. The Spartan state, I call it this way. When you get adrenaline in your body, something happens, dangerous. You have a rush of adrenaline. Danger, there is danger for you. What happens? It will depend on how much in the Spartan state you are. Either it will make you freak out, this danger, this sense of adrenaline. You approach someone and there is not a very good reaction, for example, or you're afraid of what might happen. It's uncomfortable. Have you noticed if you go to the gym or whatever, discomfort builds a momentum of loving it. You get to the gym. At first, it's not very comfortable. You don't really like it. The more you go through it, the more you start to like it. It builds. And at some point, you crave for the discomfort. You want to go to the highest level of discomfort. At some point, it goes back down, but there is this high. This high is why you love the discomfort. This is the Spartan state. You can use it with social interactions. You go through discomfort slowly and slowly. At first, you really don't like it. But at some point, the next group of people, or woman, or guy, or whatever that you're going to approach, the precise fact that you're afraid of what might happen, it will excite you. You will love it. Discomfort. You will want it. Like, yeah, let's face it, let's do it. I love it. You want more. You want more. You even want them to give you bullshit. Because then you have to. You feel like at the gym. This is the Spartan state. You love this feeling of discomfort. And you want more. You want to push it. You can guess how powerful it is as a state. Do you see this logic behind? Do you see the logic of it? Do you understand now how those different parameters, those different combinations of parameters, those different states, they will generate different results. They will impact your ability to get results. The Buddha state, your Buddha. This is, actually it comes with meditation basically, but this is when you're just so focused in your external channels that you can really block the imaginary channels. So you can just interact with people and completely be focused on the external channels, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, your body, but the imaginations, the negative elements that come, you can block them with your mind thanks to meditation. So you're like Buddha, you talk to people and nothing wrong can happen. You just look at them with complete peace. You're completely at peace with. It's not that you're at peace with whatever might happen, like in the Phoenix state. It's not the same. It's more like you don't even think about it. It doesn't even come to your mind that, not even that something can go wrong, but even that something can happen. You don't even think about the future. Is something wrong or good going to happen? You don't even think about it. You're just you're like a flower. You're just like here, talking, and people feel it. Once again, how powerful can this be if you know how to combine it with actual skills? The bully state, it's very powerful. It's one of the most powerful when it comes to getting women sexually attracted to you. That's extremely funny. Really, it's really funny. But you have to combine it with some niceness. The bully stage. You know what is a bully? The guy who is mean with the shy kid in the school and who makes him look terrible and he laughs at him. The bully state is just when, for whatever reason, you start to draw a lot of amusement from making people look ridiculous. Remember in the humor masterclass, in the fun masterclass, ego going in the opposite of ego, making people look ridiculous. That's a very powerful tool for generating fun. You can use it on yourself, you can use it on whatever, you can use it on other people. But the bully state is about talking with someone and you feel like it would be so fun if you just make them look ridiculous. However, they say something and you just say something that just gets them confused or whatever. You will just feel it in the moment. And you will just get driven by this. This is the only thing that you will want to do. You talk with someone and you want him to feel stupid. You want to make it look like he's terrible. That's what it feels like. You want to just make fun of him. And it really makes you laugh inside. You're like, ah, shit, it's so funny. You're bullying him actually. And when you have that, what are you going to do? You're going to walk up to a woman and you're going to bully them. That's what you're going to do actually. It's bad to do it, but it's very powerful because it says so many things. It means so many things in terms of alphaness, in terms of amusement, in terms of power over people. It tells so many things. Remember, how threatening are you when you can do it? And actually, because you're in that state, you will actually be extremely good at bullying people because all your focus, because you draw happiness from it, then all your psyche is going to work toward making this situation happen and being creative toward making them look stupid. When you approach women in that state, in the bully state, you will really see that even if they kind of feel bad because you're bullying them, they feel extremely attracted to you. You will see this. The best thing you can do is to combine this with some niceness. And this is why, if ever you get into the bully state and you want to be able to still interact with people in a way that is not so ethically bad and make them feel bad, and in that case, you won't really get a result because even if a woman is attracted to you, she's sexually aroused by you even. Remember, ego and social other values. Maybe the fears as well. She's going to get to the bed with you and you're going to make fun of her because she doesn't know what to do. No, she's not going to let this happen, so it's not enough. The easy trick, the easy fix is to, okay, you can be in the bully state, but have a huge smile on your face when you do it. And at the same time, try to only do it on the non-verbal. You will be bullying people, but only with the way you talk. The way you talk, the intonations you make, the poses you place. This is how you will bully them. But in the verbal, you're going to be nice and collaborative and have a huge smile. So it's going to counterbalance this effect. If you've never had the opportunity to apply this while being in the bully state, it might seem absurd, but you will see if you get in the bully state in a next social situation, you will think back about this advice and you will be like, yeah, it's so obvious. I just approach people, I'm smiling, I'm nice with them verbally, but in my non-verbal, I'm being a fucking asshole, I'm trolling them, I'm bullying them. And then you really draw a lot of pleasure from doing it. Because on the facial expressions and on the verbal, you're still being nice with them. The provoking state. It's a bit similar to the bully state, but it's a combination actually of the bully state and the Spartan state. That's a bit of a combination of them. Because now you actually want people to react and to get to react back to you. You want a sort of confrontational vibe to happen. Imagine if you're in the bully state, so you want to bully people. You have this. And at the same time, you have the Spartan state that just activates. You have both at the same time. So at the same time, you want to bully people, but at the same time, you want to feel the discomfort. You want to push through it. So what is the natural outcome that you will be hoping for? You will just be hoping for going to people and actually bullying them in a way that kind of provokes them so that they want to confront back to you. So now you have this confrontational vibe and you love it. You're feeding from it. You love these emotions. There is like some kind of vibe. And this is in the sub-communication. It's like being passive-aggressive. For example, you will just come and say, how is your day? And look at the person like in a way that means, let's get confrontational. You're waiting for this. Actually, it can be extremely bad. It can be like an aggression. That's why you really have those dark states. I'm not hiding any dark state here. We have dark sides as human beings. You have to be able to use them as well, not hide them. Those kind of dark states, such as the provoking state, which is one of the darkest, you really have to be smart about it and find a way to use it in a way that makes people feel good. This is possible. It has to be a game. You will go to the provoking state is really even more powerful than the bully state with women when you know how to use it in a way that make people feel good. You will walk up to women. It reminds me, okay, right. It reminds me of something. I will tell you a quick story. One of the last really huge love story I've had. Amazing love story. I was in an open relationship with a woman. Then I talked about it with you, my ex-girlfriend, and we got into exclusive relationship. Then I was completely in love with her. She was in love with me as well, but I decided to go back to being single because it was way more aligned with my higher goals. You can see, I think that it doesn't make sense if I get right now, actually now in a relationship. I still have something to accomplish. Okay, however, I decided to go back to being single. So we got back to this kind of open relationship, but she really didn't like it. She was suffering from it. At some point, I was in a club in another country. I was traveling. And I was playing with those kind of things in my head and trying to discover new things. Before actually, I'm so passionate about this stuff that sometimes I just draw way more pleasure from just being in social situation and not even actually interacting. Just meditate, observe my own state, my own thoughts, observe what's going on, and I even draw more pleasure from understanding what's going on, what are the dynamics, than actually getting results. At some point it became like this. I get results, I get them, but I feel more driven to understand. Mathematics was my obsession, remember, so I'm more driven for this. So I was doing this, there was this night. I didn't approach anybody. And after 2-3 hours of chilling in the club, I saw like the archetype of the woman, the type of woman that I love, like really, wow, like your fetish girl, you know. I saw it dancing with her friends on the dance floor. Oof. I had no momentum, nothing, zero. I was stressed, but yeah, I have some mastery over myself, so, and some skills, so I just approached. Boom, I go there. She rejected me like crazy. She was like, she didn't even talk, she just stepped back and she came back with her friend. I was like, shit, I was really into her, so I thought, okay, let's just try to persist. I tried again. She was like, no, I don't want to talk with you. And she kept dancing with her friend. I was like, shit, I just fucked up, shit. Okay, right, it's okay. I'm just having fun from it. It's okay, it's part of the process. At this point, I didn't really care about getting rejected after years of doing this. The night kept going. 1 hour later, I got a text from my ex-girlfriend telling me, hey Alex, I have to be honest with you, I met someone and I started to really like him. Okay, that was the thing happening. Actually, that's normal. I mean, I'm making her suffer. She has to, okay, right. It was logical. She didn't want this open relationship. She just didn't have choice because I didn't want to be exclusive. So there was some sort of toxicity behind that was not, it's fair. That's better for her, this situation. But I was still very attached to her, so I felt extremely bad. I really felt very bad at that moment. I had some rush of negative emotion. I felt in some pain, some suffering. And I'm here in the club, no momentum. Just got rejected by this girl that I was really attracted to. And now I'm like, oh shit. I really suffer. I'm like, whoa. I really don't feel like interacting with anyone now. Just walk a bit in the club, there is music, loud, dance floor, everybody going crazy. And then I see the woman, my fetish girl, like crazy, who just rejected me like crazy, sitting on the bench with a friend of her on the club. I just see her like this. And I was in this state, well, because of these emotions. I'm overwhelmed by my kinesthetic field. I don't think about the rest. The imaginary, it has no, the other things, it has no importance to me compared to what I'm feeling right now. And I was kind of angry actually. And so this provoking state activated. This mix between bully state and Spartan state, it activated. I had it. I just was in this state. I think it's when I saw this girl on the bench sitting, it reminded me of the scene of how frustrating it can be because, wow, I was really into this woman. She was the only woman in the club that I really thought, damn, I have to approach. I have to approach this woman. It's as if it activated my provoking state. I was feeling extremely bad, but I was like, shit, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to approach her again. So I went in front of her and I said, the words just came out in alignment with the provoking state. I said, yo, are you still angry? Because she was kind of angry when she rejected me. She was very bitchy. She was like, yeah, no, I don't want to talk with you. Sounded angry. I said, yo, you're still angry. With this kind of provoking eye contact I was talking about. But I have a lot of experience with those kind of states and the dynamics. So I know how to counterbalance. I knew it was going to be attractive. I have experience with it, so I know how to do it in a way that still allows her to not feel like it's an aggression. In a way that lets her know that I'm drawing pleasure from it, from this discomfort and this provocation, this confrontation. But at the same time, she knows that logically, I'm not really going to be aggressive, and it's like a role play. I'm drawing happiness from it, but there is no real aggression behind. She knows. You have to get to that point if you want to use this state. She's like, what? Still angry the same way. What? She was talking with her friend. I just interrupted. Are you angry? Are you still angry? She's like, what? I said, are you still angry? I repeat again with this provoking state. She's like, yeah. And I said with the same eye contact and the same provoking state, me either. And I sat down by her side while looking at her with this provoking state. And we started talking like this with this kind of vibe, this confrontational vibe that I was holding. And I said, let's be angry together. Now you see, I kind of make it collaborative, you see? She sees that I'm in this provoking state, but at the same time, at a higher level, I make it collaborative. Do you see that? I want us to have a confrontation, but it's as if you're playing with your friend. As if you're doing game with your friend. It's not a real confrontation, it's a game. You're putting some gloves and... But it's a game. It's to have fun with your friend. Okay, right, you see this feeling? And now she had her full attention drawn into me. Her friend was on the right side, she was talking with her before. Now she turns to me on the other side and she's really looking at me. She has her full attention. Then I started asking really simple questions, like small talk. I'm like, where are you from? I'm from Ukraine. Very still mean, kind of bitchy. But remember, interpretations. I'm used to playing with those interpretations. I just keep going as if she was being nice. But I stay in my state. I just ask a question and she starts to really draw into it. She starts smiling a bit. And after 1 minute like this of her being kind of mean with me in her behavior, but at the same time giving me attention, remember the interpretations. I acted as if she was being extremely nice and as if she was extremely interested in me. So I said, by the way, I have to tell you something. And she said, yeah, what's that? So I leaned onto her ear and I said, I think you look incredible. To me, you're the most attractive girl of the club by far. I said something like this, like very authentic, very completely authentic. I say what I mean. While she's being bitchy with me, actually, she's being mean with me in the behavior. But I play with the interpretation. Actually, I was thinking, listen, if the right interpretation is that she's into me and that she's behaving this way for whatever other reason, what would I actually do? That's what I would do, actually. That's what I would do. So I do it. let's see what happens next. So now we have a combination of a lot of the topics we've been talking about. What happened next? She's like, oh yeah, one more guy that tells me I'm attractive. You think it does what to me? You think it matters to me, this kind of compliment? I just look at her kind of in love. I just say nothing. At that point, I was happy. My happy state came, I changed state. I was not that much in the provoking state anymore. So I just said nothing. I just left her blank and looked at her with a smile. As if my interpretation was that actually she loved it. She loved the compliment, but she don't want to show it. She want to have the prizing frame. Ego, remember ego. She wants to be on the pedestal. Everybody wants. But me, I have no ego in this situation, so I let her be on the pedestal. I don't care. Yeah, be on the pedestal. You should be on the pedestal. You look amazing. Be on the pedestal if you want. I don't care. I know my value. I know I can bring you crazy level of happiness. I don't need to be on a pedestal. I don't need my ego. You're going to get the happiness. So I'm a good choice for you anyway. Even if I'm not on the pedestal. Be on the pedestal. I don't care. So I just look at her with a smile. And she's like, okay, right, I have to go. And now she lives with her friend away. At that point, I'm just like, I have no idea what are the real interpretation. I just did my job as we saw in the product. I just apply what I preach, what I teach. I just applied. I was with my friend at that moment, one of my friends who was in the club as well. Like, this night is just completely fucked up. Here again, just making fun of the situation. No ego, just make fun of the situation. This night is completely fucked up. And then, 30 seconds later, she comes back. She comes in front of me. She looks at me kind of angry. And she tells me, give me your phone. I'm like, what the hell? I kind of understand what's going on. I take my phone out. And I hand it to her. She says, unlock it. She was very dominant at that point. But yeah, I don't care. I know I'm dominant. She will see later anyway. She saw it already. I can let her behave as if she's dominating me. I don't care. I know what is the real interpretation, and she knows as well. She can remember, at the end of the day, the truth always gets revealed. She can pretend to be on the pedestal. She can pretend to be dominating me. But if the real interpretation is that I'm the one dominating, and I'm the one on the pedestal, then I don't even need to control her interpretation. If I talk with her long enough, it will get revealed by itself. Okay, however, so be dominant for real, have the alpha vibe for real, work on it, have the happiness to give for real, then it will get revealed by itself. And if then you can add a more precise control by techniques, fair, that's even better. However, I give her my phone, I unlock it, she types her number, she hands it to me. She looks at me like this, and then she walks away. I'm like, what the heck? What the hell just happened? I go on, I tip the number, and yeah, I don't give a shit about being needy, because being needy applies when you're not alpha, when you have no alpha vibe. Being needy is being obsessed about a woman, whereas you're not alpha. That's fucking needy. You have no power. You care so much. Here, I just sent a text instantly. Yeah, what are you doing now? I just went home. I went home. Yeah, do you want to go for a drink now? Maybe I could go home with her now. She's like, oh no, I'm going home now. Blah blah blah. We start talking. I was still in the club, and then she's like, I'm like, yeah, let's meet tomorrow, for example. She's like, yeah, okay, I will go for a walk. I do it often. Come join me. We met the next day, and crazy story. She rejected me in the club because she was about to get married. 3 years of relationship, she was about to get married. She always rejects everybody. She's always bitchy with everybody. That's her personality. Everybody say that she's extremely bitchy. classical Ukrainian woman. Actually, we had sex the same night. We had a crazy love story together. We almost fell in love in like 3 days because we kept seeing in the following days. Uh, Actually, now she decided to not get married with her husband because she saw that, yeah, we had a way stronger connection in 1 week of hanging out together that she has with her future husband that she's with since 3 years. Actually, why? Because he doesn't really have the alphaness. There is no sexual arousal with him. So no matter how much everything else is optimized, with me there is really high level of sexual arousal. Now she sees the difference. She's like, wait, I draw way more happiness from hanging out with this new dude that I just met than with my husband, my future husband. So yeah, she decided to do it with me. She actually kind of cheated on him, but yeah, we had a really huge connection actually. And then yeah, happy ending. We're still talking now. Months ago, we have to meet again when we will get back to the same countries again. Very good story. Okay, so this was about the provoking state. So you have an illustration of the provoking state. You have an illustration of all of the things that we've been talking about. Next one, extremely powerful, crazy level powerful. The punching ball state. God, this is the bully state, but applied to yourself. You want to bully yourself. It's as if you detach your perception of yourself from what you're used to. It's as if you're watching yourself acting, but from outside, as if in your imaginary visual channel, what you were seeing was not what's in front of you, but it's as if in your visual channel you were playing GTA. You know GTA, Grand Theft Auto, the guy with the gun in the city. You're like playing a video game in your imaginary channel. You're seeing you from this perspective, and actually you can detach yourself from what's happening to the character when you're in that state. And then what happens is that every time that something harsh happens to you, every time that someone rejects you, remember what is fun about the ego looking crushed. That's how it is. And so instantly you get rejected, let's say, or people they are mean with you or whatever. You approach someone and it fails. What is the first thing you crave to do in this situation? Is to create in your mind just one more thing that is going to make it go from just this to actually funny. And so you get rejected, and in your mind you will just think about just you reacting like, oh shit, my life is horrible, or something like this, or crying or whatever, something stupid. And it will make you laugh actually. You'll be like, damn, if for example I try to escalate a woman and she's like, what the fuck are you trying to do? I'm not interested in you. It makes you laugh actually. You're like, shit, I'm so repulsive that no woman wants me. It makes you laugh actually when you're in that state. But hey, come on, it's a state. You're not going to be there all the time. Most of the time you get rejected. It sucks. But when you get in that punching ball state, you are your own punching ball. You want to get punched. It's a picture from the social interactions so that you have fun. Now, once again, if you can combine this with the tools that we've seen so that you don't just look like a piece of shit, but you actually combine it with creating something from it. Now you have tremendous power. This is as with the Phoenix state where you don't care about the outcome, but in more powerful. That's even more powerful at the Phoenix state when we think about it. Because okay, it's more and less powerful at the same time, because in the Phoenix state you just don't care about the negative outcome. In the punching ball state, negative outcome, they make you laugh. They make you actually laugh. It's not neutral, it's positive. But then it can give you a kind of childish, not taken seriously vibe. So it has to be combined as well. Something very close is the clown state, which is very close to the punching ball state. The punching ball state comes from the outside. This is the other people who actually have reactions and do actions that make you look stupid, that make you look ridiculous, that make you look like cringe. And this makes you have fun. In the clown state, it's not other people, that's what you do for yourself. For example, it can be extremely powerful to use it in order to, for example, captivation. The tools of captivation. Being different with the volume, with the tonality, the emotions. It can feel very weird to do it in interaction. Even myself, even now, I still have to work at this. I should work more on this skill because I feel a pressure when I do it. I feel like people are thinking, what the fuck is he doing? And you might be thinking the same. What the fuck is he trying to do? Because if you do it well, then they love it, they get captivated. But if you still don't have the momentum and you try to do it, but you actually don't succeed to do it accurately, then people are just like, what is he trying to do? And it can feel a bit frightening to have people thinking that. If you generate the clown state from it, you try to do it, and at the same time you try to generate the clown state from it. Now you're thinking, damn, actually it makes me laugh to look like a clown. And so what have you been doing those last days? It feels like you're a clown, you're a fucking clown. What the fuck am I doing? It's stupid, it's ridiculous, it doesn't work. That's how it feels. But then now it makes you laugh, so you're not afraid of doing it. It makes you feel good. Now people have fun from it as well. I don't know what he's trying to do, but it's actually fun. And then once you have the momentum and that you actually become captivating for real, now you're very powerful. The confident state. This one goes with the final exercise, which is about creating momentum within creative fields which are aligned with getting your results. When you do it, you will enter the confident state, which is the state where you just have the impression that you will just get the results you want. You will just get them, no matter what you do. You just approach people and it will work. You anticipate it to work. You anticipate the good result. This is the confident state. There is many points of access, maybe just to accumulate success. You approach one woman, you get success. Another, she reacts well as well. Third woman that you're going to approach, you're going to be in the confident state. The loving state. This one is special. It's a bit unreal. The loving state. You get to a level of happiness that is so high. So high. If you tap maps of consciousness on Google Picture, or if you read the books from David R. Hawkins, something like this, for example, Letting Go or Power versus Force, or levels of energy from, I don't remember the names anyway, you will see this map of the levels of consciousness. And as we've been talking about, the higher your level of consciousness is, the more likely you are to draw happiness from anything. And so there is those layers of consciousness with, at the whole bottom there is like shame, then there is apathy, then there is fear, then there is guilt. Then you start to get to medium level like pride, courage. Then you get to acceptance, then willingness. And now then at the very highest levels you have at the end, at the highest, we don't expect it to be the more powerful state, because the more you go up, remember, power comes from your level of consciousness. But your level of consciousness also is directly linked to how happy you can feel from anything. You can be from any event, anything happening. And so, as counterintuitive as it might seem, the more powerful levels, actually one of the more powerful is love. You get to a level of love. You're so happy, you're so happy with anything that happens. You enter this state of love. You just love everything. You fall in love. You're in love. Incredible state. Love, extremely powerful. And after this, there is joy and then enlightenment in the maps. You can check it out. Well, when you're in the loving state, you can already know how easy it will be to get results. You seem like Jesus. You approach people. It's like if Jesus is approaching them. There is so much love coming from your vibe and so much power at the same time. It's not a needy love. It's not the same. When you look needy, it looks desperate because there is no power behind. Here, you're completely fine with yourself, with anything that can happen. You have power. You can get results. You're a huge happiness container in that moment. And someone who is so powerful, he comes at you, he talks with you, and he looks at you in this loving way. It looks like he loves talking with you. He loves this moment. You're like, wow, is this Jesus? Who's that fucking guy? You fall in love as well with this person. Loving state, extremely powerful. Boundary state. This one is amazing. Boundary state. This is a state where you don't want to tolerate any bullshit. You're thinking, okay, I'm going to approach people, and if it doesn't go exactly the way I want, I'm just going to leave. I don't want to put out with bullshit. Either it go completely the way I want, either I will just leave. It's not a permanent state. It's not stable because most of the time you will still draw some form of suffering if people don't react the way you want, and you will remember the choices. Here, in the boundary state, the choice is cut choices. So no suffering. You have access to that. In other cases, you're like, okay, do I still keep going, or do I leave, or do I try, do I don't try, what do I do? There is this kind of state of suffering from the experience anyway. Here, in the boundary state, choices are cut in your mind. This is very simple. This is very black or white. Nothing to lose. I just go. If they don't behave the way I want them to behave, I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Have a good day. It was nice to meet you. And you just live. You don't give a shit. Boundary state, extremely powerful because at the same time, remember, boundary is one of the things of the alpha vibe. At the same time, you're extremely carefree at that moment. At the same time, it plays with a very, actually that becomes a kind of technique, manipulation technique, influence technique. It plays with the psychological bias of scarcity. They really feel that you can leave at any point. They are this close to lose your potential, to lose the potential of drawing happiness from you. And this is a cognitive bias. This feeling will actually make them think that your positive value is higher than what it actually is. So that's a bit of influential, but yeah, in the context of the boundary state, very powerful. And when you are in this state, actually, if people are drawn into you, what are they going to do? Because they feel it. They have no choice. If they want you to stay, they're just going to do what it seems like you want them to do. They will. It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy, but in another way. They will just align with what you want. They will kind of just follow your lead. They will look at what you would want them to do. They will feel it. It's like as if you're leading. They will just keep following this flow, this lead. The control state, it's pretty related to the self-control vibe. Control state, you feel like you can manage and create from any situation. Nothing that happens, anything that happens, you anticipate, you know that you can anticipate that you will be able to be creative about it and manage it. Flip it in some way, how you want. You're not passive. You don't have to endure the situation passively. You have influence. You can flip it. You have control. The fairy state, like a fairy tale state. The fairy state. This one is one of the best as well. This one is really once again, power lies in things that we don't really expect. We expect power actually to lie in a, yeah, like provoking state. This one I like. Power. Power lies way more in the fairy state, actually. Fairy state is thinking, anticipating, feeling, having the impression that everybody is nice, everybody is chill, everybody loves everybody. There is no war, there is nothing. When you're in that state, you just have the. It feels like that's how reality is. Like everybody is nice, everybody loves everybody. And no matter who you are, you just go up talking to someone. They will be like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, nice to meet you. I love you. So cool. Where are you from? And they will start talking with you. Fairy state. This one, actually, remember, it's very subtle, but this one convey way more alphaness than the provoking state. Paradoxically, the fairy state. Okay, it depends on how it's interpreted. If it's interpreted as, yeah, he's drunk or he's on some drug, remember, it depends on the interpretation, because this influences what they think about the happiness they will get from you. If they think you just took some MDMA, they'll be like, oh yeah, he's very nice, I will draw a lot of happiness from for the ego, from the niceness, but there is no alphaness behind. He's just on MDMA. I know that it's not the baseline, so it means nothing. But if they interpret that it's your baseline, that you're just like this, that it's your life, that you are like this, that's your baseline, there's nothing that will show more alphaness than this, as long as you don't combine with, for example, if you combine this with the provoking state, that's very powerful. That's more powerful. If you combine, that's more powerful. But if you isolate all of the states, this is the more powerful. Maybe the loving state is more powerful, because from the loving state, the fairy state come. The fairy state is part of the loving state, so it will be the most powerful. But there is one that is even higher, and this one is the last one that we're going to talk about. And this is the state that I want to create in you, to which I want to give you access. This is the state that this whole project is about. All of what we've seen is converging to this state, so that you will be able to always be in this state, always. And from this, then you have the tools. It's not like I've been talking about in old school, like just get in state and that's it. You also have the tools. We talked about how to escalate. You have exercises to do. You have exercises for conversation, for fun, for captivation, for conversation. You have tools. You have a VIHC. You have, alternating with questions. You know about the alpha vibe. You have tools as well. This is like 50-50. So what is this state? This ultimate state that you want to go to. That is like the ultimate state. What is it? I'll let you think about it. What is this state? Once again, it's not. It's a bit counterintuitive. It's not like the demoniac state, like the hell. You're the master of hell state. You have the flame, you have the fire. You're Hulk. No, that's not how reality works. Power lies in higher levels of consciousness. Actually, you won't need to go to higher levels of consciousness to get in that state. The ultimate state, it's the loving state. Okay, let's be fair. From the loving state, and then after there is joy and enlightenment. Okay, right. Loving state, this is the most powerful, because just because power comes from the higher levels of consciousness, by default, no matter what is the skill you're trying to master, no matter what is the outcome you're trying to get, loving state, you're going to fuck over anyone else with this state. But it's hard to get there. It requires tremendous work. It's not about dating here. It's about a way of life. It goes way beyond the scale of this product. So I talk about it, so just that you're aware of this. If ever for some, so let's say for 1 hour you're into that state during one night, for example, you know what it's about. You have, I have talked to you about it. But the one I'm going to talk about now, you can generate all the time. It's way easier. So what's that? This is what I call the paradise state. The heaven state. Paradise, heaven. Heaven state. Paradise state. The angel state. Call it however you want. The paradise state. It's about thinking, anticipating, really having the thought process, the anticipation that anyone will. It's not that you will live if they don't. They will. Anyone will do anything you want. You really have this belief in this moment. You're in the paradise state. That's how it feels. And if you've been going out and meeting a woman, going to a nightclub to approach them for years, you have already been in this state, I think. Maybe not to the point I'm talking about, because here I'm really talking about levels where you can escalate at a speed that is crazy. This is exactly as with the visualization, which makes you work on escalation. This is as if this became reality. Literally. You're there and you feel like any woman you will walk up to, anything you want her to do, she will do. You come, you want to escalate. You want to hug her. She will love it, no matter what. Remember, self-fulfilling prophecy, for some reason it will happen. It will not happen all the time, of course, it will not happen. I'm not saying this. But it will tend to make it happen. Now, the last condition is to have the skills. You need and the state and the skills. You need both. When you have both, now you're pretty sure it will happen all the time. If you're in the paradise state, and moreover, you have the skill, the technical skill to make it happen, it will almost always happen. It will work almost all the time. The only way it won't work is if she's not available, she has a boyfriend, or she thinks she saw your picture on TV because you're a terrorist, so she's afraid, or whatever. But in a normal case scenario, she's single, she's normal. It will work, no matter what. Paradise state plus the skills, it works. It works. No way around. It works. As long as you don't have really have a bad look, you look homeless or whatever. But yeah, let's just do the work on every side of the spectrum of what is necessary, and it will be fine. We could as well call it the God mode, more classical, the God state. But I don't like it because it's already used for video games and etc. So when we think of the God mode, you really think of things you've already had, maybe. You really think, oh yeah, the God mode, I had it already once. I remember one night or 10 nights I was in the God mode. But is it really what I'm talking about? Are you not confusing what you're calling now the God mode with one of the other states that we've talked about? Are you sure it was really the paradise state and not one of the others? Think about it. That's why I don't want to call it the God mode. Let's actually just make a quick sketch once again. When you are in some states, in any state actually, may just you not have any of the states we talked about, it is still a state, even if it's not a useful state, not a powerful one. Any state you're in at any point, it's a bit as if here is the starting point of any interaction or any event. You will, when you have to consider to produce an event or not, for example, approach someone or say something, in your mind there is anticipations about what might happen on the line from the event to the end of the sequence, which might be, depends how long you're predicting into the future. And on this line, you're having anticipation about, okay, here is what might happen, this might happen as well, here as well, here it might go this, it might go there as well, this, and from this event this one, and this one, and here this event as well, this, and this one is possible, this one as well, and from here up, this is possible as well, this one as well, this one, and up. We have all those possibilities. Okay, maybe you will go a bit deeper about him, who knows, up like this, who knows, that's possible. Okay, right. And so you're thinking about, you're considering an event to happen. Automatically, may you be conscious of it or not, may it just be subliminal in your unconscious. There is this line that gets produced in the mind with what might happen, and especially how you're going to handle it. This is what you think you might be able to do. And as long as all of the things, when you're in a state, look, depending on the state you're in, let's go back to the outcome you want and the outcome you don't want. It's a bit like this. In one case, for example, for the same event, in one state, it will be like this. You only see positive, most of them. Hop. You get the idea. And in another, it will be the opposite. Red everywhere. And so, depending on your state, you will think about any event. May I say this? Or may I say this instead? Or may I say this? And for any of them, you have a lot of the things that appear in your mind about what can happen. And yeah, it just depends. Your state is going to influence the things. And actually, it's influenced by two things, your state and the tools you have. Remember the chains of the chain of consequences. Remember the sketch we made. So actually it's as if your tools, think about it this way. Your tools are like a coefficient in mathematics. Let's call it alpha. That's the letter alpha. And then you have your state, up, alpha multiplied by s, your state. And this will not move with your state. Only this will move. This will move with time, long term. Long term, this. It moves long term. This, more short term. Even if with time you learn to change states more easily, but that's a bit of the picture. So this is kind of fixed. And this will get to, let's say, a result, your ability to get a result. You see the picture? So this will be fixed and level up with time, your level of skills. And this, even if in short time, it can really change. And then that's how it is. And so the more this goes up, the more your skills go up, the more you will be likely to have always those positive things independently of your state. But even if you're at a very low level of skills, if you get to a very good state, you can have it anyway. And in the same way, you can have a very good skill. If you get to a very bad state, you will most likely go back to this kind of anticipation of anything you can do. And this actually, remember, this is actually what goes in the mind, actually, when you suffer. You're thinking about, remember, the choices. Okay, will I do this? Yeah. You think about an element. This can happen. Okay, these appear in the mind with all the possibilities. And you see like this event is going to create only negative. So this is negative. This, I could do this instead. Okay. Yeah, up. This one as well only creates negative. So it is negative. And so now, the more choice you have, the more you suffer. So you need to cut the choices. Cut choices, just choose a choice, do something, because the more choice you have, the more you suffer. Just do something, do this one. Oop, you will come upon here, bad event, but at least you have a momentum of cutting choices. So now next time, you don't think too much, you have something else that come, you're not considering, well, do I do this or do I, no, if you think this way, it's going to generate another suffering. So no, now you have the momentum of thinking, do I do this or, yeah, just do it. Okay, right, cool. And now you get momentum of cutting choices. And then because you get this momentum, you get momentum of creativity, of everything. And boom, now because your state changes, now, okay, you kind of go back to some, okay, this might still be a bit red, but yeah, you go back to, okay, this is positive. You still do it, and now, after some point, now you're in a blue state, so you can consider multiple of them, and it's okay. And basically, this is what we're going to call the golden rule. Golden rule. It is that if you have an idea about something to do in an interaction, but you don't know if it's going to work or not, and you're considering doing it or not, or doing other things instead. But if you're in that state where you can only see negative outcome, you have to do it. This is the golden rule. You have an idea of something to say, but you're not sure if it's going to be fine or not. If it's not shit, say it. Just say it. While combining it with things we will see later, but we will talk about it again. This is the golden rule. Okay, right, we are done with the states. See you on the next video.